The first question is, how long do you believe that banks will stay on an amortization schedule? That's his first
Mm.
question. Is this something that's going to be around for a long time? The second question, however, is how often is the P.I.L.L method software updated?
All right, well, let's go ahead and share a different screen there. I've got an example on the screen here that I Googled. It says inattentional blindness means that you're blind to what you don't pay attention to. So if this is going to strike directly to the answer to your question, amortization of these loans is going to be around for a very, very long time. And here's why. Because when the masses believe something to be true, they will continue to believe it because everybody else is doing it this way. And because everybody else is doing it this way, we don't stop to take a look and see, is there a better way to do it? Do you know how many people call me to say, Don, I'm thinking about a better way to do something to pay off the debt? There are a lot of people that call, but there are many more people who don't call because they're satisfied with the way things are going.
Yep.
They're satisfied with it
Yeah.
because they are unaware that 35 to 39% of their take home pay pays interest. They're unaware of it. Why? Because they make good money. They can buy whatever they want to buy. They can go wherever they want to go. They have plenty of money in the bank. They have money in their investments. They're making money hand over fist, but they're unaware that they're paying so much interest because they're looking at the low interest rates that they have, but they're not paying attention to interest costs. A famous example, if you go to YouTube and type in inattentional blindness,
Yeah.
you'll see a video there and then people passing a ball. And it says, okay, count the number of times people pass this ball around, the basketball, to around to each other. So you want to count the people in the white shirts and say, how many times are the people in the white shirts passing the ball to each other, and count that. And then when you see what happens at the end, it could be a surprise to you. So it's inattentional blindness has to do with something that's happening right before your eyes and you don't see it. So inattentional blindness, that's one thing. Now, here's something else. This is a term called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance has to do with the fact that once you believe something to be true and you hear something else that may disagree with that, but it really sounds like it could be true. Cognitive dissonance has to do with the fight that goes on in your brain. Do we continue to believe in what we've always believed in, or do we switch and go to this new information that sounds credible?
Right. Right.
That's the thing. And for some people, cognitive dissonance literally causes mental distress. And far too many of us who are going through the distress of cognitive dissonance, the way to relieve that mental distress is to continue to believe in the old information and let the new, better information go. So, you'd be surprised at the number of people that I talk to that say, this sounds great, but it goes against what this expert is teaching. It goes against what this expert is teaching. Why isn't anybody else talking about what you're talking about, Don? You know, the guy who invented the radio, Marconi, they thought he was nuts. Says, I can talk into this box and my voice can come out of another box, 10 miles away. I said, are you nuts? Are you crazy? Did you also know that people were afraid to ride on trains because doctors were saying if a train goes 60 miles an hour, once it hits 60 miles an hour, it will outrun the air and you will suffocate. I'm telling you, people believe that. Okay. Because nobody's ever gone 60 miles an hour before. And so if we've never done that, I'm going to make sure that I stay in my horse and buggy because I don't want to suffocate because the new information sounds credible, but I just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to say here, folks, is that it's going to be around for a very long time because to do something new, to do something against convention, It takes a lot to get something new to come on board. Right now, every home that I've ever been to, most homes have a microwave oven. But in the late 60s and early 70s, that was not true, especially in some homes where they believed that if you got too close to a microwave oven, you could become sterile. So a lot of men would not allow them into their homes. So here's what I'm talking about, folks. And now every home has one. And I want you to know this as sure as I'm sitting here. Every home will have an opportunity cost calculator one day. Just like Steve Jobs, just like Bill Gates, when they were young, they were being told that every home will have a computer. And that was the time when computers were as big as houses. So, folks, this is what we're talking about. And so, why will this exist? Because there are 90 million mortgages in the US alone. And why is it going to be around? Because I will be dead and gone before the P.I.L.L method even reaches 5% of that 90 million. Folks, what we're trying to say is that don't follow the crowd on this thing, because what you need to know is that we don't have the rules to play this particular game with the bank. They're going to win if we try to play it without knowing the rules. And they've made sure that we don't know the rules. I have people who are lenders on the stage. I have people who are real estate agents on the stage. Right now, this is a well-curated stage, folks. We have people who are credit experts, okay, on this stage. We've had people who are financial planners on this stage. So here's what I'm trying to tell you. CPAs, MBAs are part of the P.I.L.L method. And we even have CEOs of major corporations that are using the P.I.L.L method. And here's what I want to tell you. This education about how to understand how loans work is not part of their education. This is why you're not hearing about it, because it's not taught at any level of financial education. It's being taught here. Take advantage of it. Share it with your friends, because this question is a very good question. How long will the banks continue to use an amortization schedule? For as long as they can keep it out of our schools so that you don't know about it. That's how long. Now, back to the other question. How often do we update the software? All the time.
I thought that was a quick one,
Yeah.
easy one.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.